Hi you guys, it's Kyla here and I am back with another video, and I pray that this video can help and it can touch those who it needs to be for. We're just gonna go ahead and hop straight into the video because this is different, and so yeah, I hope you guys are having amazing whatever part of your day you're in, and again, this can encourage you. It's not the greatest time, like for whoever this may be for. I know you're in a similar time as me, maybe not the exact same, but you are in a similar time as myself. And there's a lot going on temptation wise and a lot of thoughts going on. It's a really, really hard time for yourself. And like I said, I'm in the same one. And before I came and started recording this video, I just sat with God and I told him that I didn't want to do this anymore. In regards of like walking with him, and I want to go back into the things in which I was good at before. I want to go back to things in which made sense, because this time it doesn't make sense. It's hard and it's difficult, and I'm angry and I'm frustrated. I'm all of these things. I feel like I have to be a certain way. I feel like I have to act a certain way, and it feels so draining. It feels so draining, and I'm tired. And I was just expressing that to the Lord, because I feel like nothing is working out. I feel like everything in which I'm doing is not the Lord saying this is cool, like you're on the right path. Like I feel like everything I'm doing is failing so greatly, and I'm just tired of being here. It's like I live the same day over and over and over and over and over again, and it feels like I'm Cinderella. I just don't feel like God has any use for me. I feel like this will be my life forever, that I won't leave this situation. And again, like I said, maybe you're in a similar time as myself where you want to give up. Maybe you're in a similar time yourself where you want to go back into things in which you were good at before you came into Christ. You were good at, drinking. You were good at smoking. All of the things that were in the dark. And so now coming into Christ, the Lord, he calls us to be the light. He calls us to be the moon. And when I say the moon, I mean it only shine because of the sunlight. The brighter the moon, more light the sun is giving the moon. So, with the Lord calling us to be the moon, it's difficult because you don't feel like you're good. You don't feel like you're good at speaking. You don't feel like you're good at hearing. You don't feel like you're good at being patient. You don't feel like you're good at, talking, or whatever the case may be. You don't feel like you're good at those things. So you want to go back. I understand. And I want to go back, I want to go back too. And again, with this video, I'm not even going to sit up and act like I'm just hippity dippity. No, I am a mess right now, and it's overwhelming, and I'm tired. After I basically said to the Lord, I'm giving up, I went on YouTube and I watched a video, and it was this guy, and he was talking about how we're meant to be creators. And this is not even in the sense of like being a content creator or whatever the case may be, but just simply being a creator and spreading the Lord's light and all of these things, and knowing again we can't do these things without the Lord. After I watched the video, the Lord brought to me the verse John 10:10, where it speaks upon how the enemy, he wants to steal, he wants to kill, and he wants to destroy. That is his intention. And so within this time in which we're all in, whoever may be watching this, God is doing something beautiful. He's doing something transformational within us. He's doing something that hasn't been done. He's freeing people. He's freeing us, the world, from a mindset in which has been ongoing for generations and generations. He's doing a new thing, but the enemy wants us to not take heed. He wants to kill what God is doing here. And I made a video in which I need to edit and record, but because I've been undergoing a lot of warfare, I am very discouraged and I don't want to edit it, but we will. But I'm going to read what the Lord had gave to me. Everything changes. No matter if it takes a short amount of time or a long one, the promise is that the feeling of where you are or what you feel, it won't be forever as you think. The enemy wants you to believe that, and your flesh is impatient and wants everything to happen now because it's impatience. But you know me. You know my word. And what you face, though it's painful, is not in vain. This time is for a time soon to come. I want you to keep me first and not get corrupt by the things of the world. For your home isn't here, but with me in heaven. So fear not, because you will leave this season. But that's not what I want you to worry about. Worry about what is being done now. The transformation that is taking place in you every day. What I am doing in you this very time. And so while I'm not brushing off your feelings, I do want to give you this encouragement that this time will soon end. But don't worry. Take in this season greatly, because when you leave, the true test begins. I love you, Abba. And he gave this letter to me personally, but in the video in which I recorded, I said this, and I feel led to say it here now. Something that the Lord brought to me is that the season in which we're all in, or which we're facing, is a make or break season. You can either be made through what God is doing. You can either listen and you can either take heed, or you can break. You can fall back. You could get corrupted by the enemy and what he's trying to do and all of these things. And the Lord brought to me, like, within the wilderness, I feel that the enemy has a lot of rain, or he feels that he has a lot of rain, or we may feel like he has a lot of rain because we're waiting on God. We're taking this patient route instead of going with our flesh, and he feeds off of our flesh. He just only adds on to the fire where our flesh is putting out. And so this season again is like a make or break. You can either again be made by the Lord and grow, or you can be broken, stop walking. Like, it can be a lot of things, and we see that with the Israelites. They were in that wilderness, and the first generation couldn't even step into the promised land because they wouldn't let go of the past. They wouldn't let go of Egypt, and so they were made broken. The second generation, they were made. Joshua and Caleb, they were made. That whole first generation, they were able to go because of their obedience, because they had let go of what they thought and they trusted in God. And so this is what this season is. God is refining us. He's stripping us. He's doing a beautiful thing. He's transforming us, transforming our minds onto him, and helping us be dependent not on our own hands, or not by the hands of man, but him. And the enemy wants to take that away. He wants us to believe that God has left. He wants us to believe that we will stay here forever. He wants us to believe all of these things in which he is saying to us, so that we will stay here, so that we won't prosper, so that we won't move, but we will stay here. Like the Lord said, your feelings aren't being brushed off, and that's something in which he's helping me to see, because I was feeling like I need to be in this certain posture, that I need to be ippity dippity, that I need to be holy girl holding a lampstick, and I felt that I needed to be like that, and it would create a frustration within myself, because it's like, God, I don't even feel like I can be myself with you. I don't even feel like I can be sad. I don't feel like I can be angry. I feel like I always have to be up and up. And so with God, sometimes I didn't even feel like I feel like that. And even now, it's a struggle for me to be vulnerable with the Lord, because I feel that I have to be in a certain way. But something that God, he's bringing to my heart is Psalms 51. And in Psalms 51, David is talking about how the Lord doesn't want a sacrifice. He doesn't want a burnt offering. He wants a broken heart. He wants a repentant heart. He doesn't care about how much you fast. He doesn't care about how much you pray. He wants your heart. That's all. And so with that, if your heart is broken, he wants that. He doesn't care about what you're saying or what's going on. He just wants you to be with him through it. And that's something in which I'm having trouble understanding. But I don't know, I feel like this time is truly something, because it requires not leaning on your own understanding truly, but leaning on the understanding of the Lord and what he says, what he has said. And it's hard because, again, like he just said, the flesh, it is impatient. The flesh wants to be its own protector. And I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I said this in my last video, but it wants to protect. It wants to have this comfort. It wants to be in control. It does. And so when it comes into submitting to God on top of that, it does not want to do that. That's why you see women all in these relationships and they are basically the men. Our hot girl 101. They get down and they do they want to because they're acting from out of a place of flesh. And the same thing with men. It's just in a different sense. The flesh wants to rule over. The enemy wants to take away what God is doing here. All of the pruning, all the refining, he wants to take away and he wants to break it. He does not want us succeeding or prevailing in the Lord's will, because when we are prevailing in the Lord's will, a new thing is happening. Someone is being saved. Yourself is being saved, and other people connected to whoever God has you connected to. People are being saved. A change is being made. And within that change being made, it's a hurt, it is a stab to the kingdom of dark, because the kingdom of light is now prospering. An area which was once dark is now turning light. I said this in the last video, I need to stop. But something new is being done, and he does not want that being done. He does not want what God is doing to be done within us. He does not want us to be freed. He doesn't want those kids to be free. He doesn't want your family to be free. He wants us to stay in a state of bondage, or wants us to stay chained. But God is saying no. And so, yeah, this time is hard. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm gonna get through it. Yeah, I feel like everything is gonna stay the same. Yeah, I feel these ways. But I know what he says. And maybe I don't believe that all the way, but I cannot shake off my spirit. And I know for yourself, your spirit cannot shake off what the Lord has spoken, what he says. Even if it's the hardest thing to believe, even if you don't believe it, I know you believe it, because it is what he says. And you know that his word is true. You know it is living, and it pierces like a two-edged sword. And so I just want to come up on here and give you the encouragement that you aren't alone as you may think, and that you are on the right track. You are where you need to be, and you don't need to be sitting and doing no, the Lord is instructing us to be still and to look at him. Being still means being in his presence and just being with him. And I'm not even talking about like sitting in the word, reading it all day. No, but with your heart, being with him. It's hard, and I'm struggling with it now, and I know it will get better. It will get better in the name of Jesus Christ. It will. And I pray and I prophesy over whoever I may be speaking to right now that your situation eventually will get better. But we have to trust in him above. We have to trust in our God. I know it's hard. I know you want to give up. I know you want to go back, but God is doing a new thing. Yeah, you may have been good at being the dark, but the Lord wants you to be good at being the light. He wants you to be firm in your identity. He wants you to know that this is where you're supposed to be and not over there. I was good at being the girl who sat on TikTok doing this and doing that. I was good at cussing people out. I was good at doing other stuff that we may talk about further down the line. I was good at doing witchcraft. I was good at doing certain things. I was good at that. So now coming into the light, I don't feel like I'm good at doing this. It hurts. I don't feel like I'm good, and I question and I doubt, but I feel like right there goes to show that I am walking with the Lord. It's not easy, and it's a trust within him, but it's something that will grow. And eventually I will be good at these things, but not by my strength, but God's, because I can't speak. I can't speak. I don't feel like I can give comfort or encouragement or even have patience. But I can see when I do lean on the Lord, I can do these things. This video, I don't even know how long this video is, but I've been talking for that long. I would not be able to do this before, but I'm here doing it now. That is a blessing. But again, I want to speak to somebody and give this encouragement to someone that though you may not feel like you're good, though you may feel like everything what you're doing is wrong, though you may feel like God's not there, that is not true. God is doing a new thing. God is doing something beautiful. Don't give up. It's hard. I want to cry. I know you want to cry. But with the Lord, if we just look towards him and we give him our heart, not even within reading the word or doing this or doing that, but truly giving him our heart and allowing his faith to grow, allowing him to help us get into the word by faith, allowing him to help us refrain temptation out of faith, we'll get through it. And so I love you guys. God loves you so much more, and I pray that with this video it does help and it gives you encouragement. You can pray for me. I'm praying for you. And again, eventually things will be okay. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys later. And I hope that this does pour into you and give you some form of encouragement. But yeah, bye.